I hereby formally inaugurate you, Donald Kennedy, as president of Stanford, and as an external symbol and visible symbol as well of your authority in that office, I now invest you with the robe of president.
In the end, leadership works best. Indeed, it may work only when it is closely faithful to the institution's own character.
An entirely different president came in who was ebullient, charming, loved the football team, loved everything athletics was doing, loved being with the students. That's Don Kennedy.
I think if you look at the Kennedy years, that was really the transitional period for Stanford as an institution. We were coming out of a difficult period before, particularly economic period. Don was unbelievable in recruiting academic leaders throughout the university. That really changed the nature of Stanford. He built the endowment process, endowment management entity. He basically brought public service to the highest level of any major institution, trying to provide opportunities for every student to engage in public service. His contributions to building the spirit of the place through athletics and amongst other things was unbelievable.
The university was pretty buttoned up, and it was a pretty tight ship. Some people thought, maybe to a fault, for an institution that's supposed to be creative and inventive and all those things, and maybe we needed a leader who was a little more inspirational and a little less controlling. And so the university found Donald Kennedy, who was actually Dick Lyman's provost. Donald Kennedy was a ebullient leader who made everybody feel good and proud, and he ran the university in a way that produced an awful lot of innovation and change.
Don was huge. He would probably be the person I think of our presidents was most in athletics and enjoyed them. You know, Don Kennedy was a timer at the U.S.-Russian track meet in Stanford Stadium.
Don insisted on being available 24/7. He would often say, I have the best job in the world. And he knew the names of hundreds of alumni and recognized them. And he would see people that he knew and he would chat with them and he would ask them about their kids. And to him, Stanford was his family.
He was kind and he was present and he really wanted to get to know us as students. I met him freshman year. Whenever you'd run into him, he would stop and he would talk to you. He had such a gift at connecting with students. To be at a big place like Stanford and to feel like the president of your university is happy to see you and wants to talk to you and wants to be helpful in any way. That's something that I was always proud of.
We had the Loma Prieta earthquake, and there was about as I recall, $160 million of damage. So then a year later, you have the indirect cost controversy, which, while it didn't cause immediate damage except for extraordinary legal fees, it did cause damage in terms of the relationship with the government and the substantial government contracts that support much of the research on the campus. Ultimately, of course, the indirect cost controversy was core when Don Kennedy started to consider his resignation.
Don took the responsibility himself, but it's like an earthquake. Don didn't do anything wrong, and the notion that there would be any blame associated with him is wrong. He did the best he could to defend the university and to make sure nobody else suffered because of what they were doing. It was just a political firestorm that he had to deal with. By the time he left, it was clear to the world that Stanford was one of the leading institutions of higher education.
Above all, I hope you will not shrink from that special form of responsibility that will require you to stand up, state the program, accept the risks, and bear the consequences. Even at their worst, and you are hearing this from an expert, they are not intolerable, not if you act from conviction, not if you know you did the right thing. I want to be especially sure that you hear the answer that I found for myself in these last difficult 18 months. The vulnerability and exposure that came with my role, as it does to others and as it may to you, are not only acceptable risks, even their most adverse consequences have been dwarfed by the rewards. And many of those rewards have come from my complex, rich, frustrating, and wonderfully rewarding relationship with the likes of you. No one who has known you as I have can fail to find hope for the future. No one who has known you as I have can fail to believe in what you can accomplish. Adlai Stevenson said these words to yet another graduating class even longer ago and in another lovely place. They have been my own commencement coda for a long time. They are good parting words, so I leave you with them. Your days are short here. This is the last of your springs. And now, in the serenity and quiet of this lovely place, touch the depths of truth, feel the hem of heaven. You will go away with old, good friends. And don't forget, when you leave, why you came.